Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that everybody's waiting to see who won, who is the next president of the United States, or is it the same that we've had before? And this, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is like waking up from a nightmare. Truly a nightmare. Can you believe it? I was in a world where everybody wanted the same identical things. And yet, they had as many different ways of getting it as there were people who represented everybody. And they recognized that it was difficult trying to achieve these things as an individual. So they pulled themselves into groups, or should I say, they were organized into groups. We had, for our understanding today, Republicans and Democrats, representing two different groups of people who want the same things, but have decided that on one end, the Republican vision is most appropriate, Democratic vision is most appropriate. And the result, ladies and gentlemen, is that neither one of them, and each of them have been in a position of power, as they call it, have been able to deliver. And for all of the 200 plus years that the United States of America has existed, they have not been able to bring it together. And yet they still keep trying to go the same way, to the extent that the people are so desperate until they allowed the most evil voice that they could imagine to come up on the scene and put that voice in power. Wow, what a world. And they still did not get anywhere. Man, oh man, oh man. Can you imagine living in a world like that? Especially having come from a world where everybody had purpose. Everybody recognized the importance of every individual, the necessity of every individual. They respected the power that they couldn't see. They knew there was a power that they couldn't see. Why? Because all things existed that they had nothing to do with. Came from somewhere. They came from somewhere. And here they are. So they know there's a power that they can't see. And to honor that power, they respect all that that power has done. They respect it. They treat it respectfully. And one another have the same basic requirements, essentials for survival, that they all have determined what they are. And each one of them engage themselves in part of that process of creating and causing a manifestation of enough of that nobody, we ever hungry or homeless or clothesless or without education or health care or career, all the things that they can dream of. Man, to wake back up into this, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, having given this some thought, I was trying to figure out what in the world could this mean. And I started thinking about what the price you have to pay to be born again. To be born again meaning to wake up, to see the world as it is, and have a comparison because you see the world as it can be. And you wake up, and you have to deal with it. You have to make that decision. And in making that decision, you think about how when you make that decision, what do you have to go against? It seems as if everybody, even in the mindset of the world today, everybody wants the same thing. That's what the Republican and Democratic Party is all about. They just don't know how to do it. I mean, they fail to do it. Let me just put it that way. And so when people start talking about a different world, a different way of thought, or a different way of being that people haven't seen before, even though they want it, they can't believe it. That means they have a lack of faith. The things that they've grown to accept are those things that they see. That's why you can lie to them and keep telling them the lie over and over, and they will accept it as truth. Because it takes faith to step outside of that. Now, when you walk outside of that, you'll find out that in the world, you will be denied food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, if you are rejecting the system. Or if you are standing up for the truth, these things you will be denied. And even, I mean, and why do I say you will be denied? Look around you. Now, that doesn't mean it'll be denied every individual, but as often as you do it unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. So that's the evidence that it will deny the benefit of these to so many people. That's the way the system is. And if you're standing up for truth, you'll get caught up in that as well. First of all, you can't stand up for truth and work for the system. So you don't have any money. These other folks, they but still believe in the system. The system is just failing them. But for you, you don't have any money. You don't trust the system, and yet all of these things belong to you. They have stolen them from others, and other people don't know it. They've stolen them from you, and you know it. So what do? This is what you do, ladies and gentlemen. You stand up for truth. I want you to know, remember this. God is love, and God is life. Now look, I know you think that doesn't make, let me say it one more time. God is love, and God is life. Boy, let me put my glasses on. Maybe you can hear me better. God is love, and God is life. I want you to remember that. I want you to know that what you call a devil or Satan, or I just want to refer to it as evil, it is known just the opposite of God. It's with hate and all of these other things and its ultimate power that it would try to use against you is to kill you. To kill you. See, because you are a total representation against the system. You exposes the evilness of the system, and then you reflect the goodness of the truth. You turn it up or down? Down. Thank God. It's a 90 degree. My God. So you expose the evilness of the truth. And so, when they take you, just be ready for it. Because when you go, it's like waking up from a nightmare. It's like waking up from a nightmare. Well, anyway, I think I'm just that thought just crossed my mind, waking up from a nightmare. So I thought I'd share with you. Now I think I'll let you go back to bed. Talk to you later. Goodbye.